Hi, it's me again, Leo2Q, going to do my second video review. This time I will have a look at the game from ACYK2. I will review his game against sigounet. Sigounet is 1K actually, quite strong, maybe even slightly stronger than myself. ACYK2 recently shared 2 reviews on our website. Thanks a lot for that. Actually, this is why I decided I have to look into your game and check if I can provide you with 1 or 2 ideas how to improve your game. So let's jump into the game right away. Here we go. ACYK2 is black and sigounet is white, and this is totally normal. Actually, I already had a look into the game and found some moves I want to comment on. So this is the first one. So this is super normal. This is just Soseki in the lower right corner. At this point, it is fine for black to play Tanuki, to play just somewhere else, like ACYK2 did in the game. You just have to be aware that next this white move at N3 is quite painful for black. So you have to know ways to handle this, because this actually threatens this cut here at A. So the easiest way to deal with this is just go down. This is the easiest option. Black is alive now, and still there are weaknesses. There are cuts in white formation. Or you can also play like you did in the game. First cut here, and then white will block. And now you have to play another move and go down again. And still, as you can see, there are still cuts here, ways to attack white, to later reduce this white territory around A. And yes, this is just necessary to prevent white from building too much on the lower side. So as you played in the game, only this one move here and then somewhere else, this was really painful. So white got a chance to fully, first of all, threaten to cut. You connected. White took these 2 stones, fully surrounded black's group, and you even had to play another move so that white got sente. So this is totally good for white. This is just too good. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention is this move. I haven't seen it yet, and I don't think it's a good move actually, because it does not really put pressure on this white cornerstone. So it is super easy to deal with this, and it's also not completely connected to the other black stone. So later white will have the chance to somehow cut. So I just don't like this option. And the normal way would be to play the double approach. So this puts a lot of pressure on the cornerstone of white. And then white can play something like this. And then something like this would be normal. Black goes out here. Now this black stone threatens to cut at A if white doesn't respond, so white somehow has to defend this cut here. Maybe something like this. And then black can play, for example, here to settle the group on the lower side, prevent white from taking this territory. And I think this would have been an okay result for black. In the game, we saw this variation where black played here to build this left side, which is still too open. So if you had a stone here, maybe this would be an option, but without, I think it's just too open. It's not clear that black will get a lot on this side. And on the other hand, oh sorry, no, that's not a game. This is the game. White just reacted here in a very calm way and got profit on the lower side. So white will be able to either take the corner or make good territory on this lower side. So this is just too easy for white. Okay, black played here. This makes a lot of sense, having these 2 stones here. And white also decided to just make quite some territory here on the lower side. The game continued. Black threatened to take the corner. White defended. This one actually I do like a lot, because you already do have the extension here. So having the corner enclosure and this extension is just a very nice formation. This looks like black will get quite a good result on the left side. And white continued in the upper right corner, playing this approach move, aiming at building the right side for white. And you just answered with this knight's move, and you asked, should I have played 33 at p14? I think I would have reduced white, but it would have left more space in the top for white's future invasion. I cannot figure out which option is better. So let's have a look at the other move that you proposed. I do understand the idea. So on the one hand, you play this to set up this big framework with the idea of building something big around A. And on the other hand, you reduce white's right side, white's B area, by just limiting white's territory and pushing white down, preventing white from jumping to the fifth line here. The thing is, if white just continues with the knight's move like this, then white gets relatively secure territory here. So this looks like it will be almost for sure white's point. Black's framework, on the other hand, is not that solid yet, because you only have these fourth line stones. It will be really easy for white to later invade somewhere. So even if you play one more move, I don't know, even if you play something like this, it will be still relatively easy for white to either reduce with a shoulder hit like this one. So something like this could be normal, or maybe even still invade, like with a probe move or something like that. So this is still relatively open, and I'm not sure if this is the better response, because you just do not yet have a stone around A. And it is not sure that you will be able to really build this and make this your territory. So I think this is okay, because now you have fourth line and 1/3 line stone, so this is way more solid on the upper side. Okay, white jumps and takes this fifth line stone and starts building this. And this is nice because it's just at the border of your two spheres of influence. So I like this. This somehow limits white's area and extends your own. And white also keeps playing on this borderline. Now you played the cut. I think this is not necessary at all, because white will just be able to capture it. And this makes white very strong here. So before we played this, it might still later be possible to do something here in white's area. So this is kind of forcing. You can play a move here, which is annoying for white if he just defends. You can still try to do something. So I'm not saying that this is the best sequence, but it might still be possible to do something inside. If you play this cut here and make this group very strong, like this, it will be really hard to do anything here on this right side. So I wouldn't have played this cut, but instead just continued either here or, yeah, why not? Okay, you played the cut, and then you took a tarry. No, this is the game. And then continue to play for the middle, which is fine, because you're building this big area here, and white is building this one, but it looks like yours will be significantly bigger in the end. So this still looks very positive for black. Now you decide to take the corner. I'm not sure actually if this is the biggest point of the board at this moment. Okay, next you played here to secure the corner territory. I'm not sure if this is the biggest area of the board at this moment. I think just continuing here is quite reasonable. On the one hand, you keep building this huge top left side and reduce white's area in the center. On the other hand, it's also a nice shape because you play at the head of these two stones, and this puts quite some pressure on this group. So if later, if white decides to play for the corner maybe, later you will be able to play annoying moves like this. So for example, if white cuts here, then you can push here, and this is just super annoying for white. So I'm not saying that this will be a sequence that we will see in the game later, but typically this is just a very nice shape, playing at the head of two stones, because it reduces white's liberties and might later help you to get some free moves or put some pressure on these stones. So I think I prefer this one at this moment. You played for the corner, and white answered locally. Okay, and this is goatee, right? So you have to add one more move, otherwise white will be able to capture your stones. So if you play here, white can just take these 3 stones, yes. And white actually threatens to go into the corner here. So this is also why you ask, was 55, this stone, better at h7? h7 would be this one. Losing the corner but reducing more, was it really worth more? It's really hard for me to tell which move is better now. This one or the one that you suggested. So let's briefly count. So let's assume black plays here and white takes the corner like this. So this way white got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6, 12 additional points. And if we play it the other way around, if black defends here and white just takes the corner like this, then black gets, so white still gets these 6. So it's only additional 6 in the former variation, and black gets 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. So it's something like 15 points, around 15 points, maybe a bit more. Actually, I think this is even bigger because it threatens to further reduce with the jump to A, or jump in like this to B and reduce this area. So I think this is very possible, even though this of course will make white think whether he can just continue with a move like this to defend his big framework, or if he directly has to change his strategy, because black will just get too much and this will be too small, so that white now might decide to invade immediately or something like that. But I think yes, this is very possible, and maybe even bigger, especially due to the fact that at this point already you decided to not save your 3 stones here and take these 12 points corner territory, or even more, 18 points corner territory, but instead play for the center here to build your left side and reduce white's area. So I think it would just have been consequent to add another move here. But it's tough. It's a hard decision. Okay, white defends and says this is just enough for me. This exchange I totally don't like, because you make a really bad shape at this point. So this is this empty triangle, which we just don't want to see. And it's also completely not necessary, so white can't really do something here. So if white decides to play here later, it is very easy for you to just defend somehow. So there's no risk here. And on the other hand, at this moment it is still somehow possible to try to do something here. So this reduces white's liberties to chew for these two stones. This will be forcing, and then maybe you want to try something later here. So again, having in mind that it is still possible to play some free moves here. I'm not saying that this will definitely work, but it's just not necessary to play this bad exchange, which doesn't give black anything, but just helps white to completely build his wall. And now you played here, and this one I really like, because before this move it was still possible for white. So let's say if you, for example, now defend the corner here, it is still very possible for white to jump in here and try to do something. So this somehow threatens to continue to live in the corner, or try to build something here, try to build a base here on the top side. But with this one more move, it will be really hard for white to invade. So this is also why white decided to continue here. This is relatively big because it threatens to further move into your territory, and you just defended. And now white decided it's time to try something. You played honey, which is fine, and white played this honey here, which actually asks for 3 moves to maybe find a way to live here in this area, or even attack these 4 stones later, if it is possible for white to build something here. So this is asking for trouble, and you allowed your opponent to create this complicated situation. You played Atari and then defended. This one I do like, because it completely defends this super big area. And white played this probe move and asked you for your way to defend the corner, and I think this is just fine. And then he tried to do something here on this left side, and let's add some more moves. Yes, and at this point white played here, and I think there is a better option for white. So if white just plays here to play Atari, then if black goes here, this is also forcing, and this looks very promising for white. So if black just plays here, then white will be able to live quite easily, for example like this. So the strongest answer is probably this one, but I think it is on the one hand very risky for black, because white can just walk in here, and if white lives now, this is a big loss, a huge loss for black. On the other side, this move is still almost forcing, so black almost has to connect here, and then again this looks quite alive, not 100% alive yet, but I think it will be very hard for black to kill. So if black, for example, plays here directly to prevent white from making this I at A, then white can just cut here. Black's this move is a threat. White has to connect here, but I don't see how black should prevent white from getting 2 eyes in this area immediately. So I would say this is either alive or at least almost alive. Hence, I'm not sure if this black move is possible, or if black has to play the safe option, and then this is just a very nice result for white. Because white white made a living group inside black's territory, and now the game looks quite close. But that's not the game. In the game, white played here, and black continued. White just connected. Black took this one to prevent white from moving here, which is nice. And white threatened to connect. This one, this one. This is still kind of forcing, because if black does not react here, but for example plays here, then white can threaten to link, and if black cuts like this, then white can capture this whole group, which would be a disaster for black. So I think black has to continue here. White defends to not lose the entire corner, and black connects here. I'm not sure if this one is great, because now black has a really good chance. So I think black can now kill this whole group on the left side. So actually I would say stop the video here and have a look at this. And I think if you know that it is possible to kill this white group, it is relatively easy for you to find the right point, okay? I think the right way to kill is just to play this move. So what is the meaning of this one? It threatens to, if black, for example, doesn't respond here, or maybe plays something like this one, it threatens to play here, and this erases one eye on this side, because later white will have to take, and black can just make this, turn this into a false eye, and white cannot make one eye here. So I think with this move there is no way for white to live somehow. If white connects here, then this is just dead, right? So I think black really missed a good chance here to kill this entire group, which of course would have a major impact on the whole game. But black didn't find it, and instead played this sad sequence here. So this is really not great. White, probably you thought white has to connect and then wanted to connect here, but it didn't work like this. White just cut and took, and this stone is just captured. And white's position is even stronger. There's no RJ left here, and that is even worse, black has to play another move here. So this was really a bad sequence. And now white just continued to play endgame. Yeah, took the corner. I think there's nothing more to come. Let's quickly go to the end, and yes, here we are. And at this point, white won because black ran out of time, but I think the game was decided anyway, because as you can see, white is about 20 points ahead. And this is, again, just because of the fact that this group on the left side is alive now. If black kills with this move, then it's additional 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, well, almost 30 points, I would say. So this game is clearly good for black. Okay, I hope you liked my review. Hope you got some ideas, and I wish you good luck for your next games.